1972 you met David Bowie.
That was obviously, we had a lot of interests in common, not the least of which was Syd Barrett. And also he had met Iggy Pop and Lou Reed the previous November when he was in New York. And even though they weren't that well known then, I was also a fan and we had a lot of things in common. So, and so he would invite me to things and, you know, I wasn't, a lot of the pictures I shot, there was no guaranteed money, so it wasn't really about that. I was fascinated by him, and I thought he was very intelligent too. And there was a refinement to what he was doing that had never been in rock and roll before. There was, and of course, the mime, and he did it all. He became known for his theatrics. Well, guess what? There wasn't much of that. He was the theatre, he himself.
Okay.
So that was very interesting. I mean, he did do a big show at the Rainbow Theatre in London in the autumn of '72 with a gentleman called Lindsay Kemp, who was the mime choreographer that taught him all about kabuki.
When you met David Bowie, wasn't that your breakthrough in a way?
Well, it was not in the very moment when I met him, but as time went on, it proved to be as his star rose. So people started to, because remember no one was that interested in photographing him when I started to. So that was important in the sense that I think David, as always, felt that's why we're doing a new book with Taschen. That's why we did a beautiful limited edition book 10 years ago with Genesis Publications, co-signing and everything and sharing money too. So he was totally special, and through him I did meet Lou Reed and Iggy Pop, and of course that was very important too. And because of that, that's why Queen and Roxy Music wanted to work for me. So yes, I always acknowledge David, because he deserves it. And of course he's, you know, making a big. He didn't do anything for whatever it was, 9 years, and now suddenly he's everywhere again.
Yeah.
It's like Bowie made, it's like 1973 all over again. And all he's done, well, he's had that amazing exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum, the best-selling show they've ever had, and the quickest selling one. In fact, you try and get tickets for it, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Totally impossible.
Yeah, I know.
And and of course he's put out his new record, and he's not done any interviews or photographs, he just put them out, and the impact has been unbelievable. And God bless David Bowie, I always say. But I also think it has something to do with the look between them, which is very conspiratorial. It looks like they know they've got the tiger by the tail. Not in '72, the audiences were more like flipped out because he looked so wild and different. But by '73 it was Bowie mania, and I've got loads of pictures. Well, of course I had the relationship with David. Yeah. No other photographer could have been on the stage like that, but obviously I was totally trusted. And the audience, what can I tell you? Look, they all wanted a piece of the action. Yeah, well this was a press party for David Bowie, organised by the American part of his record label. They flew over a load of journalists to interview him before his first ever tour, in the wake of the release of Ziggy Stardust. And Lou and Iggy were in town. I mean, David produced Transformer, Iggy was working on Raw Power. Well, I do remember that I hadn't slept or eaten for about 4 days when I did this picture. But this was the session, when he saw it, he said, "Mick sees me as I see myself." That was, in a way, I think, the session that bonded us. So first there it was in Skin magazine, so now it's art.
Jump for joy and laugh, it's a dark sunny